Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, how are we today? We're trying something new today. I'm actually casting on Facebook as well. Now, I know that my Facebook page doesn't really have this kind of traction. So it's probably not going to be a whole lot of people watching me from Facebook. But I hope to build my Facebook audience by streaming my live streams there in real time, so that people can have access. Sometimes people don't. The Facebook audience is different from the YouTube audience. So sometimes people are on one platform and then sometimes they're on the other platform. And so I thought that, just trying something out. If it goes the way that I want it to go, then fine. If not, then fine. But I wanted to find a way to stream on more than one platform at a time. And StreamYard actually makes it pretty simple to do. So first, thank you so much, Mike Jones, for the for the super chat to kick off the contributions. So, good afternoon. Work was absolutely crazy today, third day into the new year, and I'm already dealing with foolishness. Thank God my vacation starts this weekend and I can unwind with a true lioness. You got a vacation coming? You must then take off during the holiday time because I know some people's jobs didn't do that, depending on where you work. But I'm glad for you that that you got a vacation coming up. I'll be trying to figure out vacation days, baby. Okay. Thank you so much, Miss Lou Casey. Always appreciate it, sweetheart, for your super sticker. Thank you so much, Frederick, for your super sticker as well. Thank you, Miss Beth Shua. Say, hey, sis, Kendra, it's been a minute since I've been at a cook. Good to be here. Good to have you. Thank you so much. Moon said, peace and blessings. I'm glad you're covering this. It was 4 hours, but very telling, very telling. And of course, we're not going to go through 4 hours. I have a particular part that I kind of wanted to point out some things. Thank you so much. Chano said, I'm guessing the central theme of this week's lecture is in connection with the mouth and the cultural biocultural context of hyena behavior. I don't know if you're one of few people that realize I do themes in a week. But more or less, yes. Thank you, Steve, for your contribution as well. Okay. So I came across this video. Shout out to This Might Be Risky. The brother Hamp runs that channel, and his is a panel platform, a panel style platform. And I tend to catch it in bits and pieces. I'll catch a little snippet here, a little snippet there. I don't think I've ever caught a live, and I don't think that I've ever watched any of his content in its completion, in its entirety. All because it's a platform, and sometimes those are 2, 3, 4 hours long, and I can't dedicate the time to listen to the entire thing. Plus, I'm fickle when it comes to panels. Sometimes I like them, sometimes they get my anxiety up. But I started to do another show. I may make it a weekend show. I'm not certain, because I think I'm gonna tell you what I wanted to make the show out of, and I probably will get around back to it. Yesterday's conversation is, I believe, a necessary set of conversations that we need to have as a group if we calling ourselves a community. I'm just going to speak hopefully briefly on it. Because you don't expect people to necessarily agree with everything that you say or all the stances that you may hold, and I don't expect people to agree with all of my stances or all of the the ways that I come at certain subjects and things of that nature. Um, so that's fine. Like, I don't have a problem with that in the least. I think that there was one comment though under the comment section that caught my eye. And it was a comment, I don't remember who made it. And it was a comment that said that was in my lane to, I guess, talk about the community, what we need, possible solutions. Yeah, that might have to be a show. Because why wouldn't that be my lane? That has always been my lane. The whole purpose of this channel ever talking about value systems, ever talking about biology, culture, environment, both as separate entities and interlaced concepts. The point of me ever talking about the nature of men and women, the point of me ever talking about the damages of feminism, the damages of the way in which we think as a whole at this point in time, it has always been about what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? We can talk about the symptoms of the problems. We can talk about the problems themselves. But I noticed, and I'm gonna be real candid right now with y'all. I'm gonna be real candid right now with y'all. The reason that I approach solutions from the standpoint of looking at the problem first is because we respond to what we perceive as negative and what we perceive as chaotic and what we perceive as drama. We respond to that. We respond overwhelmingly to it. If I had set my channel up coming from the solution first and then the problem, I wouldn't have no subscribers. Y'all wouldn't subscribe to me. If I only talked about the solution of the value system, and if I didn't couple that with real-time examples of the foolishness that the solution is supposed to address, and if I didn't approach it that way, nobody tuned in to me. And I'm not feeling no way about that. I understand it. I understand it. I understand what we respond to. I understand algorithms. I understand that stuff. And I move accordingly to it. But we gonna talk about the uncomfortable stuff that we gotta talk about as a group. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna shift to what we really supposed to be doing a show on. We Black people in America, we like to talk in circles. What do I mean? We like to talk when it's convenient for us about communities and about what community need and how we as a people are struggling so bad and how we need to, do this and do that. Everybody's got an idea about what the solutions are or what the solutions can include. All right. And that's fine. And we'll talk about the problems ad nauseum. We'll talk about systemic white supremacy and racism and all of that type of stuff. Like we'll talk about that kind of stuff. And then when people say, okay, well, we got that down pat, this is what we have to do. This is the work that we have to do. Then everybody want to talk about being an individual and you can't hold it accountable. And, it's not your business. You need to mind your business. And we're we just need to be able to do what we want to do. And, because we like the problem. Now, let us go into what we really came to talk about today. And I'm gonna let me take this and move this over. I wanted to come back to a particular point in this video. And as we can see, we got a panel full of ladies. That was the whole point of this particular panel. And most of these women down here, I believe, are married or whatever. Most of the women, there's like half and half. Half the women on the panel are married, half are not. Okay. And I wanted to stay here on this particular part of it. And the reason that I wanted to take this particular part is because I wanted to demonstrate the passive aggressiveness of hyenas when they encounter lionesses. Let's see if I picked the right.
Your emotions lead you.
You would be acting unruly. Yeah. Do a proper vetting process of yourself. Yeah. Say, okay, I don't want to have to deal with a woman who.
So, so what Nay is saying, I guess I'm inquiring, right? Because we say women have all this intuition, right?
They can do a little bit further.
That just means that you were never open to be led in the first place. One, he wouldn't be able to like.
I'm trying to get to that exact.
A woman can, I guess, kind of discern that. You can discern certain things like that in a man too. It's just that vetting process that she was speaking to. So I think it can exist on both sides.
Go ahead, Luna.
I just wanted to address the primary question I was asked. I believe that it all falls on a woman, but like starting with a woman who is his mother, because I feel like it's like naturally a trait for a man to be a leader. But if a mother like suppresses that in her son, and then he grows up and sees women that do the same thing, then one, he wouldn't be able to like express his leadership. And another part of it goes into the whole aspect of like women shouldn't be picking the men should be picking the women, and you attract what you are. So if you attract a man that is not leading, that just means that you were never open to be led in the first place, if that makes sense. Like submission is already within you. So if you're not a submissive woman, you're not going to attract a man that's going to lead you, because God would be wasting his time at that point, if that makes sense. Because you're not going to listen to his leadership in the first place.
What does a mother suppressing their son's leadership look like? What does that look like?
It looks like multiple different things. Not allowing your son to express himself fully, shutting him down, not being emotionally available, things of that nature.
Are you a mother, Luna?
I am not.
Oh.
Does that matter? I'm just wondering.
It does, because you said most things as if you are a mother.
But I have two brothers that I've witnessed grow up and be raised by a mother. And I also have multiple, we've all.
So that's what your mother did to your brothers.
No, not at all. Both of my brothers are great leaders. I'm just saying we can all bear witness to Black mothers in the Black community basically belittling their sons and not allowing their sons to express themselves to their fullest potential. Like,
Well,
that's just
you
not a
could
thing.
have blanket statement and you said most mothers, and then you said most Black mothers.
Mm-hmm. That's what she said. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still stand on that. I'm not going to retract the statement. That's the truth.
You don't have to retract it. I'm just saying, understand what you're saying, because you're saying that all of us that are Black mothers, we fall into the most category because you're saying most.
Majority, yes. You don't have to be part of that majority, but if you feel
I'm not part of the majority because I am raising a Black son and I don't do that with them. But when you send out your message and you say that it's most, you're putting majority of us in the box.
Because it is the majority. That's my point.
But you don't know the majority because you only know what you've been around. And if you unless you've been to all four corners of the earth and every single state in the United States to see all Black mothers, you don't know.
But we can see the results of Black mothers raising Black men. And if the results are
but
Black
then we
men
go back to the original
single,
question. So we're going to go back to the original question, which was, what's the real issue? Men not being good leaders or the unwillingness of a woman to follow? So if that's the case, if majority of Black women are raising or suppressing Black boys from being leaders, then we got to go back to the answer, and that is basically men. Is that what you're saying?
No, the answer is women. Because the women are suppressing the Black men, starting from the home, starting from the mother. The mother.
But I thought the rhetoric has been
now. There's more of that throughout the panel interaction. There's more of that. We're going to get to another portion of that. For the first thing I want to point out is the passive aggressive nature of how a hyena tries to talk to a lioness. Then we are able to witness the ever so slight moving of the goalposts, the ever so slight changing the direction of the conversation, all in an attempt to divert accountability away from themselves. Now, what Miss Luna said was a general, non-specific observation, which we make all the time. The same observation. We talk about the results of single mother-led homes producing emotional boys that have the testosterone and the aggression of men, and the reasoning and problem solving and approach to problems like women, which is a dangerous combination. Okay, it's a dangerous combination for that to happen, because you don't want a man with aggression, with testosterone, with the strength, with the forcefulness of a man, but with all the emotional control of an out of control woman. You don't want that. You don't want that, because that man is one of the men who can become dangerous, both in his family, in his community, in his home, at his workplace. That's the guy that want to spin the block and spray it because he felt like he got embarrassed by somebody on the block. So everybody that happened to be standing on the block, you know, by the time he spin it, is in trouble. This is also an example as to why I don't do panels. Why I don't do panels. Why I don't host them. I'm open to a certain degree to be a part of them on somebody else's platform, but I don't really host panels for this reason. Because I'm not going to get in front of a gang of hyenas and play this cat and mouse semantic sign language game with them. You're not going to sign language me to death, sis. You're not. One moment. I will be right back. Hold on. My apologies. My apologies, everybody. Like I said, you're not going to sign language me to death. We're not doing that. We're not doing that with you, sis. We're not doing that with you, sis. She's trying to do she wanted Luna to recant and walk back what she said. When they start trying to say, what do you put everybody in that? Well, you haven't met all the single mothers, but we have met your sons. We have met your sons. See, we don't have to know each and every dang on one of y'all. I'm not picking through the boneyard, doing a boneyard census with you. I'm not coming through with the clipboard and the boneyard census. Well, do you have how many sons do you emasculate? Like, we're not doing that. We already seen the result. Because these guys, I told y'all that the men that they raise that don't discover their lionhood range anywhere from the hood booger, Pookie Ray Ray type, all the way to the son husband. He productive out in the world. He got a job. He don't commit no crime, but he emotional. He don't make good decisions. He is not a good leader. He don't have a masculine bone in his body. And not that he's effeminate. He just he operate like a hyena. He operate like a hyena. See, I want to make sure that we understand that male hyenas are more than just the gynocracy has no class. We told everybody that. I told everybody that the gynocracy has no class. There isn't a level where you're not going to find a hyena at. So you got male hyenas that rip and run the street. He don't do nothing. He ain't got no job. He's not productive. You know what I'm saying? He may be doing anything in the street. This is not a productive guy. This is not a guy that any self-respecting lioness even need to be paying attention to. But not every male hyena is some type of criminal or drag of society. That is not. He can be a gynocrat with a good job. He never committed a crime in his life. That's a good one, UFO. That I might steal it. I might steal it. A hyena. I might. That's a good one. That's awesome. I might have to do another dictionary, but okay. So we got these F-19s, these hyenas, as UFO said. He can have a good job. He's the simp. He's the son husband. He can have a good job. He productive as far as society is concerned. He's not some type of drag. He's not some type of criminal. He's not going to stick you up. He's not going to do any of that. But he is not a lion. That he is not. Because when you get around him, he handle his emotions like his mother. Like his mother taught him to do by example. He lets his emotions drive his decisions in a harmful way. This guy is not a good leader. This is why lionesses got to stay away from son husbands too. Got to stay away from that. I don't like simps either. All of that is wrapped up in one thing. Because one of the keys of good leadership that make a lioness want to follow is that man sees the world as it is, not as he wanted to be, not as he thinks it should be. He sees the world as it is, and he works towards what he thinks it should be, or at least what he believes he should be within it. But he is not making no mistake. He's not living in no delusion about where you know the world it need to be like. He's not operating like that. He's operating in the reality. This is the way it is. Let me move like a lion move right here. So we're not going to pretend that there's no such thing as that, because the single mother-led household produces them. So now you got hyenas that want to try to play the game. Oh, well, it's not all of us. Do you know? Are you a mother? Hyenas love that. I'm gonna go on commercial in a minute, but let me cook. Let me cook for a minute. Hyenas love that. Are you a mother? Are you? Just because you birthed out one of these grimlords, that don't make you a mama. Because the women that birthed them little girls out that was trying to sing the sexy red, they are not mothers. They are not mothers. I used to get hit with that one all the time. Well, you're not a mother. I raised two. That's why I be quick to I raised two from infanthood to adulthood. That's mothering. That's mothering. They also throw that word out because the mother is supposed to be God in the boneyard. So she's untouchable. If she holds the mantle of a black mother, she's untouchable. You're not supposed to be able to critique her and criticize her. because the job of a mother is so hard. You ain't doing it. What would you know about the job of a mother being hard? You're not emotionally available to your kids. How I managed to have a 2-parent home for my brother and sister and ain't birth no kids out, and y'all having kids every which way but loose and can't manage to have a daddy in their house. How that happen? How that happen? Don't tell me about what a lioness can't do. I had a whole 2-parent home for them. Neither one of us was their parents. I ain't got no biological kids. Y'all dropping down having babies for men. Biological, 9 months, pains, epidurals, all kind of stuff you going through. Carrying these babies for men that you don't even like. And that don't like you. We're going to go back to it. But after these messages, we'll be right back. Because I need you all to go to ashkicking.com. Somebody go ahead and put that into the chat for me, please, so that I could go ahead and pin the link to ashkicking.com. If you are looking for some of the best body care, body butter products on the market, please look no further than ashkicking.com, because listen, let me tell you something. This stuff, I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about. Thank you so much, Miss Nicole. I've pinned it to the top of the chat. First, I want to draw your attention to the fact that this branding is super consistent, right? And I want to talk to you about the 10% off your first order if you use the promo code Crimson. Now, I'm going to show you guys. This is the packaging that Ash Kicking Products comes in. First, I want y'all to take a look at the consistent. This is what I'm talking about, the consistent branding. It just happens to match like my color, right? Y'all know red, black, and white is my thing. Okay. Okay. Do y'all see the professionalism? Do y'all see what I'm talking about here? And this is not cheap. This is not cheap. I know from dealing in the body care business before, getting these branded boxes, and the box itself. I'm trying to show y'all this packaging, which is awesome. The box itself is like a gift box. Okay. You really can keep it if you wanted to keep it. Now, you know, I took out all of the packing paper because it's unflattering on camera. But this is, listen, let me tell you, let me show you. Look at this packaging. Okay? I'm showing y'all the one I didn't open. Look at this packaging. Look at. Okay? It's beautiful in person. Let me show you the one that doesn't have the plastic on it, so you can. So if there's a glare, all right, with the black label and everything, it's awesome. This one is the honey mango scent. Okay. They even have deodorants. Look at. Okay. I have not seen good packaging like this in a long time. It's professional. It's awesome. I mean, deodorant with no aluminum. Okay. You know how much this stuff costs in the store anyways? When you start trying to get away from the heavy metals and all the type of stuff in your deodorant, right? And it smells awesome. Smells awesome. Okay. Even we've got a face moisturizer because, you know, sometimes the butter is too heavy to go on your face, depending on your skin type, right? I've got combination skin, and sometimes it's oily in my T-zone and all that kind of stuff. The women don't know what I'm talking about. The women will know T-zones and all that kind of stuff. I'm oily in my T-zones and all that kind of stuff. So I can't use a body butter as my facial moisturizer. This stuff, you understand? And they also have lip balm as well. Okay. Just the packaging alone, right, is worth every penny. So I wanted to show you guys just how awesome these products are. I know I'm spending a little time on it, but I definitely wanted to show you guys what I'm talking about. Ash kicking, okay, is where it's at. So once again, the link is pinned to the top of the chat, ashkicking.com. If this is your first purchase, you need to run quick right over there. Get your 10% off using the promo code Crimson, and you too can get an awesome package sent to you. It's like getting a gift to yourself, right? It's beautiful, right? It's beautiful, and the products live up to what they look like. All right. So I don't know how many likes I owe, but I owe y'all a bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button, bam, bam. You gotta all right. Hit the like button. We're going to continue. Okay. Now, I want to go to right about here.
Surprise. Because pride is such a wicked emotion and such a bad thing to possess. And so if we were just to all say
Jenny, there's such a sport called double dutch. We don't play that here, right? Like back and forth, both and all that, right? I think people are equally. I think people are important. The woman is important. The man is important. Who's the motherfucking prize, though?
Well, I mean, you can't say one way or the other.
Men or
Go a
women?
little further.
Fair. Sis, who is the prize, sis?
Where you at? Come back till I answer this question. I need. All right. Let me see. Men.
Okay.
Well, men. Let me ask you this though. Now, are men still making more than women in the Black community? Black men?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the majority of Black men doing well and above average, or at average, or how's that looking?
Yeah. For single men, the number was like 62% in the middle class.
62, so that's the majority, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those men are raised by the single moms, right? Or am I wrong there? I just want to explore.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, the men. Okay, so now further my first point. So the men, I think if they're making the money.
Sis, do you also take, before you go too far, are you also?
I'm gonna go a little bit ahead because what I want is a little bit after this. They go a little bit back and forth about the men being in jail, blah, blah, blah. She's trying to take credit for it. Don't want to take credit for the other half of men that don't do so well. She starts taking a shot at Luna is where I was going. I wrote down 116. Apparently I was wrong. Okay.
For Love, for example, she comes off abrasive in the beginning, very abrasive, like very like, oh.
But like as time goes on, she becomes more soft, and to a point to where you can listen to her and you can see, like,
Why did I get
because
these
like you're
timestamps wrong?
conditioned to seeing Black women and
Why did I get the timestamp wrong? Because he switches them around.
A wife, being fuckable and being desirable.
but I wouldn't clarify or I wouldn't justify marriage.
Okay.
It doesn't
Okay.
bother me at all.
They start talking about
To say like you're saying things that you're saying things just
For the children. And what's unfortunate is that so many Black women are not perceived to be in this manner. But I come from a 2-parent household. My mom and dad, they're married. And my mom does the same things every single day that she has done since I have been aware. But if Black men cannot find that in Black American women, I absolutely encourage them to go outside and find that, because they deserve that, because I truly believe that men want to be married more than women do. And if I was wrong, then the divorce rate in America would not be greater for women who are filing for divorce than men. So I'll just leave it there.
What's a pick-me? What exactly is that? What is that?
A woman who
I'm trying to figure out
gets
too.
picked by a man. A woman who is picked by a man.
is that what
So-
that means? I thought they were using that in a derogatory way, as if to say like you're saying things that you're saying things just to please men.
Yeah, that's what it's
Yeah, like
But
it's
why
not.
But that's not
shouldn't
even
you
a bad
please
thing.
man? Why shouldn't you please a man?
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah,
Be on y'all side. I want to be on the man's side. Okay, I'm not a.
Thank you.
But that's the thing, though. Like if you take it into consideration, because Duprice, we talked about this offline. Too often, the pick me is perceived to be a negative thing, and is it really?
No.
no.
Is it
Not at
really?
all.
Because
Not at all.
so many folks can point out and
But
call
what
us.
is it? What does a pick-me do? What does that kind of get?
Don't
What do
pick
you
me
We
do?
don't know.
We
That
do
name was
everything
given.
that a man intends and anticipates for us to do. We are what men want us to be. And so because we
So-
are that, y'all say that to us. And
They just
again,
be mad.
it's not a
One at a
attack
time, one at a time.
personally, but y'all say that to us as if it's an insult. But how insulting is
No,
it?
no,
if
no.
we are-
That's not our topic. We didn't come up with that. We're just learning what exactly that is. I'm genuinely asking, what is that?
Okay,
And how
so
long
We
have you
don't
been?
know that
pick
name.
me.
Hold on,
that
one at a
name
time.
was
One at a time. I go first.
That name
One at a
was
time.
given.
I'll stop. Y'all go ahead.
That name was given to wives or women who are trying to let women know that how the woman now is acting is not acceptable. And that name wasn't given by someone like who is trying to get women in order. That name was given by a woman who is bitter and mad. So I don't know what that term means. It's so many definitions for it.
Are you guys claiming it now though? Do you like that term? What is that?
It doesn't
What is
bother
going-
me. It doesn't
Okay.
bother me at all.
Well, Portia seems to have taken it on and she's embracing it and stuff like that. So maybe it's now a good thing, I guess, because you want it to be.
Lily, you gonna answer that? Go ahead. JB, you gonna answer it? Who's gonna? Okay. I'm gonna stop it right here. We're gonna continue the point because it gets more passive aggressive. She asked that question. How long have you been a pick-me? She first asked, what is a pick-me? As if she didn't know or had never heard the term. And then she asks Portia, I do believe, how long has she been one? This is what I'm going to tell y'all. This is why I don't try to save hyenas. I do not try to save hyenas. There are lionesses in the boneyard, and I come to the entrance of the boneyard every day, and I call to them. I call them to let them know that there are lionesses out here. They don't have to be in the boneyard if they do not want to be in the boneyard. And I try to lay out how it is that they are to be delivered, if you will, from the trappings of the boneyard. But I don't try to save hyenas. Hyenas are beyond the pale of being saved. Let's understand that. Hyenas are beyond the pale of being saved because they do not want to have accountability. They don't want to be told. They don't want to be informed. They don't want to be enlightened. They don't want to do any of that stuff. They don't want that stuff. They don't want that. Lionesses want it. Lionesses want it, and sometimes they don't know that they want it or that they need it. She asked the question to throw off the conversation because the conversation was too positive. It was too feminine. That's why she threw the conversation off, because it was too feminine. Portia was talking about a 2-parent home and her mother being a lioness and serving her father and, all of these sorts of things. And she didn't want to hear that. She didn't want to hear about how lionesses think, about the things that they have seen that inspire them to want to be lionesses or to want to be wives or to want to be helpers or to want to be that. Hyenas don't like that kind of talk. They can't stand lionesses. This is one thing that I have said before, and it's been years. I'm going to say it again. And the reason why it's been years is because at one point, there was a question asked of the women who were supposedly in the manosphere, right? Which I don't claim anymore. I come from the manosphere, but this is sort of an adjacent space. The female accountability space is what I call it. Excuse me. And there was a question as to why aren't the women over there on the side of YouTube where the other women are? Other women meaning, why aren't the women in the boneyard? Why aren't the women who have content holding women accountable? Why are we not taking our channels and going over to the space where the Paris Milans are and the what's that Yanni, I forget the name of her channel, and where these other, I guess where Sprinkle is at, and listen, we don't go over there because we are not in the boneyard. Why would my message, the YouTube algorithm not even gonna put me over there? Even the algorithm of YouTube know not to put me over there. This isn't about, that is not a welcoming female space for lionesses. You got to be a hyena to go over there. If you're getting along over there famously, you're a hyena. If you regularly consume that content and you like that content and you agree with the vast majority of what those content creators have to say and all of that type of stuff, you are a hyena. You are a bona fide backfoot. You are a bona fide backfoot. I'm not going over there. To do what? To say what to them? Don't you know lionesses and hyenas are mortal enemies, mortal. They mortal enemies. My message is my message is for women, not hyenas. I don't talk to hyenas. I don't have any dealings outside of maybe necessity. You see them, out and about. And I'm not going over there smacking fives with no hyena. I be done knocked their head off. I'm not going over there. My message is not for that. For them to, I'm not going over there to argue with them every day about why they can't stand Black men and why they don't like feminine Black women. And I'm not going over because they just want to argue. They don't like solutions no more than male hyenas do. They don't like no solutions. They like to get into spaces where they can argue and be chaotic. No ground is going to be gained from there. It's a bunch of foolishness. We can see that from this panel. And this is lightweight hyena work. This is not even the rowdy hyenas. They're not being rowdy, but they are being passive aggressive and using sign language. I'm going to let y'all finish because I'm only going to be here a few more minutes and then I'm going to look at the super chats. But I wanted to let y'all hear this.
Well, actually, I want Portia to answer. And Portia was talking.
Portia's back now. Okay, she's talking. Okay, go ahead.
So to take on the term and embrace it, I've been called that before. And at one point in my life, I did feel like it was an insult. I did, and I won't lie. And it hurt me, especially because it only came from Black women. And so I had to have like deep interpersonal conversations with my mother. Because my mother is married to my father, and my mother and my father, they did wait until they got married to have all of us. And I watch my mother every single day do the things that she does. But the one thing that I admire the most about my mother is that not only does she do it still right now today, she does it with love and care and honor. And whatever it is that my dad needs from her, whether he asks for it or not, she just does it. And so in my mind, a pick-me is someone that is just picked. I don't look at it as someone or a woman that's just being drug about the place. That's just useless, that does not have her own voice, that does not have her own interest. And I believe it was Tay earlier that makes her hair products or beauty products and skin products, things like that. I do the same thing. I'm in my quote unquote salon. I love doing those things. I don't believe that you being a woman that is a servant to your man in a way means that you have to take away from yourself. So whenever I think about a pick-me, I just think ultimately of a woman that's picked and a woman that understands. And again, you all may not feel this way, but I am from the South and I do believe in gender roles. And I strongly believe in the ideology of me staying in my place as a woman and a man staying in his place as a man. And so because of that, whenever I consider a pick-me, it's me being the woman who allows the man to exist as he is as a man, and a woman existing as herself as a woman in her gender.
One more question. So how long have you been a pick-me, and how long do you think it's going to take for a man to pick you? What are you feeling? Or are you picked? I might be.
You see the passive aggressiveness again? You see the passive aggressiveness again? How long have you been a pick-me, and how long do you think it's going to take for you to get picked? It'll take the same amount of time for you to get picked. How about that? I get picked when some dude off a Tinder deem you worthy to know his real government name. See, that's why it don't pay for me to be on no panel. It don't pay. It don't pay. It don't pay. It don't pay. Take me about the same amount of time. See, I'm not even gonna, because the roast could be real, and I don't know them. I don't know them. I'm not gonna roast. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Don't say that. Don't say that line. Because they want you, if you say as a woman that you are being feminine and, you know, things of that nature, now they want to nitpick you to try to figure out, well, when is a man going to come and get you and have you as a wife? We don't have a time period on that, but I guarantee we can have it in a reasonable amount of time. Just you never mind about that time period. Because I had hyenas asking me before me and Aunt got married, how long has your husband been dead? How long do it take you to get another husband? First of all, mind your business. Number two, when I make myself available to be chosen as a wife, when I actually put myself out there as a wife, I will come up with a husband. I had to tell a hyena at one point. I actually loved my first husband, my late husband. So when he died, I felt the way. Excuse you. I felt sometimes I grieved him. I actually grieved him. I wasn't happy that he was out of my life. I wasn't happy that he was in the ground. I wasn't happy that I had to bury him. You know, I grieved him. You understand what that means? I was sad that he had died. You understand? And so I don't just jump from man to man just because it's another man around. You know, I took time to actually heal that and get myself together. I had weight to lose. I had grieving to get over. I had all kind of stuff to do. I had, you know, to reevaluate myself as a woman because my adult life had been spent as a married woman. I had never spent no year of my adult life not being covered by a man. So I had to evaluate who I was outside the confines of a marriage. I did not know that person. I did not know that woman. I didn't know the woman outside of my marriage. Now I know who she is. I know exactly who she is. I corrected that woman. I healed that woman. I made that woman better. I built up that woman. You know who's benefiting from that aside from myself now? My husband. He benefits from that. He benefits from the work that it took me to do in 5 years. It took me 5 years to do that work, and he reaping the benefit of it. So when I put myself back out there to be a wife, I came up with a husband. It didn't take me that long. And to be completely honest with you, to be completely transparent, had I not had my attention looking at the wrong thing and worried about the wrong thing, I could have came up with a husband faster than that. They had gotten into a part of the conversation. You know what? I'm going to save that for the solutions part. Oh, we flexing. We flexing with the very flex that they say ain't a flex, that they want to be a flex. Because they try to pin a lioness when she's not married. When a lioness is not married, they try to pin her. We're not being married, while at the same time trying to say that marriage is not a flex for a woman. But yet they try to pin you on whether or not you're married. Are you? How many babies you got? Let's talk about that. You won't want to talk about that. I want y'all to hear just a little bit further. I'm not going to keep it too long.
I am picked. I'm actually picked quite often. How long have I been? All of my life. I am a byproduct of my parents' representation. I am my mother's daughter.
So you don't have to be married for clarity. You don't have to be married to be considered picked.
Well,
you can have.
You know what? I wouldn't clarify, or I wouldn't justify marriage to say that you have to be picked. I just honestly and truly believe, that if you are that woman, you will be picked. And so whenever you are a woman that is picked, you'll have options, right? And so
Portia, you're interrupting. You're going to interrupt. Sorry. Picked to do what then? Picked
to do what?
To do what? Yeah. Picked as what? If it's not, if you're not married, but you said.
By the way, picked is marriage. The young sister is not expressing that properly. Auntie gonna correct her because she seemed like a nice young lady. You can be a pick-me without being married. You can be feminine. You can be a wife without being married. Let me clarify that. Let me make myself big so y'all can see it. You can be a wife prior to being married. You are supposed to be a wife, which is how husbands find you, right? So you can be a wife prior to being married. However, you are only picked when you are married. Okay. Just if the sis takes a look at it, just a little correction from Auntie.
You're picked often. Picked as what? To exist what? As what?
Picked to be a potential mate. Picked to be a potential wife. Picked to be a potential partner. I'll say this: I don't believe in marriage by law. I believe in marriage under God. So I don't believe in like going down to a courthouse, signing some documents, and the law saying that I am paired with someone. I don't believe in that.
So have you been married yet? Not under the laws, you said it, but have you been married? What's the other way? Like, what do you call that? If it's not under the marriage of like going to the courthouse or priest or whatever, what is that called?
So I believe, like, while again, my parents, they are married, I just don't believe in the law because I'm not for big government. I am a conservative that votes Republican. I'm not for big government. I don't believe that the government should have a say-so in who I say I should love and who loves me back. So all of us on this panel right now, married or not, whenever we speak about competition.
Well, wait, real quick. Wait, I want to stay on here. I want to stay on the pick-me part. That's real quick. Then this is my last question. I want everybody to talk.
Give me 1 second.
So Portia, as far as getting picked, I just want to be very clear and make sure we all understand. When you're saying you're picked often.
Love, you can let Luna go.
It is
Portia
mean.
needed a second. She needed a
left. I
second.
need
You might
my eyes were closed. I'm
might
sorry.
let Luna.
Go ahead, Luna. I need my eyes were closed because I was rubbing my eyes. Go ahead, Luna.
Just a couple things. So I looked up the definition of pick me, and it says a girl who seeks male validation by indirectly or directly stating that she is not like other girls. Now, with that being said, another thing I would like to read is the Bible verse Genesis 2:18. The Lord God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him." With that being said, a pick me is a woman who gets picked by a man to be a suitable helper, aka wife. Being fuckable and being desirable is not being a pick me. It's not getting picked, because a man can pick you to have sex with him, but he's not gonna pick you to be a suitable helper.
I agree. That's why I was trying to get Portia to explain what she's being picked to do. That's why I wanted to understand what how she was defining it.
For sure.
Go ahead, Mr.
Oh, I just wanted to answer the question, who's the prize? I think that men are the prize, and I say that because ultimately most women are average.
Now we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop sharing. I hate it when they do this. I hate it when they play dumb, because they be half playing dumb, because they are dumb. They be playing like they don't know what certain words mean and how words they use constantly, stuff that they say constantly to people. Here's my solutions and advice. First of all, lionesses bite hyenas wherever you see them. In the book of Crimsolations, chapter 5, verse 21 through 23. And thine lionesses shall bite the feet and the necks of any foul-smelling hyenas that thine shall encounter upon thy way. Okay. With impunity, thou shalt bite their feet and bite their necks. And understand that the protection of the prize shall cover them as they move along their path and bite those they find in their way. That was the book of Crimsolations. Okay. Write that down. Because I need lionesses to bite hyenas wherever they shall find them. That's number one. Bite them all. Bite them all. Bite all of them. Bite them. And bite them with your pinky up. You understand what I'm saying? Bite them with your femininity and your pinky up. I need you to bite them bougie. Okay? I need you to bite them with your femininity. I need you to bite them with your class. Thou shalt bite them with your feminine energy. Thou shalt bite them with your pinky up. Thou shalt bite them with class. Thou shalt bite them Why am I saying it? Because we don't have to stoop down to their level to bite them. We don't have to stoop down to their level to hit them with doses of truth. That's why I say you could do it with your pinky up. Like you sipping tea, just do it. And then sometimes clutch your pearl. You see what I'm saying? Get real high on your high horse with them. Get too good. You understand? You understand me, lionesses? I want you to be too good. I want you to be too good for a hyena to even come over there and talk to you. And how dare they? I need you to have how dare you energy. The other thing that I want to say in my solutions and advice, I don't want young lionesses to start worrying about what a hyena has to say. I don't want you to worry about the disapprovals of the boneyard. I don't need y'all to be worried about the disapproval of the sisterhood. I don't need y'all to be worried about anything of that sort. You are going to go through a social ostracism. The majority of these women are in the boneyard. You will be ostracized from them. I call it dying the social death. You will die a social death. Be ye not afraid. Be ye not afraid. For though you walk through the valley of the shadow of the boneyard, you shall fear no evil. You understand me? Understand that if the sisterhood is ousting you, chances are high you're a lioness, even if you don't recognize that yet. You should never be comfortable with a hyena, and a hyena should never be comfortable around you. You are not going to be agreed with. They are not going to agree with you. They are not going to agree with your stances. They are going to be angry with you for healing any wounds that you may have, or dealing with any traumas that you may have experienced and trying to heal from them things and trying to be a better woman and things of that nature. They don't like that. Okay. And they would do anything to talk you out of it. They would do anything to dissuade you away from that and going into foolishness and being comfortable with foolishness and all that type of stuff. Being and trying to play it off like things are just fun and things. No. Lionesses take their lives seriously. Many of us have been born in a boneyard. We come out of the boneyard. We have scars of the boneyard. We have trauma from the boneyard, things of that nature. And it can take different forms for every different lioness. You might come out of it a single mother. A lioness might come out of the boneyard with a kid. A lioness might come out of the boneyard with a tattoo. But the point is for you to come out of the boneyard. Come out of that. When you know better, you got to do better. Lionesses take their life seriously. They take their essence seriously. All of that feeling disjointed, that's what you're supposed to feel, because lionesses are not supposed to survive in hyena clans. We're not supposed to. They're not supposed to like us, and we're not supposed to like them. So lick your wounds. Wherever your wounds are, lick your wounds. If you are a lioness and you ended up with a child out of wedlock, I'm not condoning it, but if the child is here, it's here already. The best you can do at that point is do better than what led you down the path of becoming a single mother to begin with. If you got caught up with a F-19 at some point and that relationship damaged you, lick that wound. Can't do nothing about the past, but learn from that. Learn from that. Understand that. Don't repeat the same mistake over and over and over again, because that means you're not learning anything. Only the idiots hyenas do the same thing over and over and over and over and then complain about the outcome. Lionesses do not do that. We see outcomes, and if we see our outcomes are bad, we make changes. We make changes. We start somewhere. We start looking at, well, what's going on in my life? Lionesses take accountability. Lioness is not afraid to look into the mirror. And we don't shy away from what we see there. If it's something that needs working on, which everybody needs something to be worked on, you start, go to work, go to work, go to work. Go to work. Lionesses is not scared of work. We're not scared of the most important work there is, and that's the work of yourself. The most important work that there is the work that you have to do on yourself. The self-reflection and the self-accountability. If you have been making bad decisions, then you take ownership of them bad decisions. Don't throw it off on nobody. Don't talk about what somebody else did and how somebody else's outside influence made you do, because ultimately we are the drivers in our own lives. And there is a such thing as external factors and your environment and things of that nature. I'm not discounting that. What I'm trying to tell y'all is that even when there are external things that have gone on, our environments and things of that nature, there's a thin line between a reason and an excuse. Don't let the reason that you in the situation you in be the excuse for why you can't come out. Okay? Do not allow the reason that you in the situation you in, whatever that may be, don't let that be the excuse as to why you can't come out. Because so many of us grew up in the midst of the boneyard. There ain't no reason for us to be lionesses. If that's the case, no reason to be lionesses. No reason. I done told y'all before, I grew up in a dysfunctional home. It was domestic violence in that home. It was drugs in that home. We was poor. All of that. We was in the hood. All of that. I had so many traumatic experiences. There have been situations I have been in. I didn't want to be in them situations. There have been decisions that I have made in my 45 years of living that I have been ashamed of. Why you get caught up over that? Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Why would you do that? But you learn from that. I had to look myself in the mirror countless times. And be mad at myself. But after you get mad at yourself, go to work. Go to work. Because long as you breathing, there's a chance for you to correct. There's a chance for you to go to the Most High. Somebody got to hear today. There's a chance for you to go to the Most High and ask, first of all, for forgiveness, second of all, for guidance, third of all, for clarity, fourth of all, for the ability and the strength to take you through what you got to go through and to do the work that you have to do. So I don't speak, when I speak on this platform, I'm not speaking from a standpoint of I'm perfect and everybody got to be like me and I ain't never made no mistake and I ain't never did nothing wrong. Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. I can sit here today a proud lioness because of the situations and circumstances that I've been through. Because you got to stumble, but you get up. Because you made the wrong decision, you got to correct it. There may be levels to the lioness. There may be levels to lionesses. All lionesses is not the same. But I can guarantee you this, I don't feel like I'm better than none of my lioness sisters. I'm not better than my lioness sisters. Those are my sisters. I'm better than a hyena, baby. Let's be real. But I'm not better than my lioness sisters. (2024) is the year of the lioness, baby. Hyenas have had their turn. Hyenas have had their time in the spotlight. Such an unfortunate time. Such an unfortunate time span. Now we got to come behind and clean this mess up. Because they done stroll back feet everywhere. It's stinking here. The mange is on the floor. It's disgusting. That 2024 and beyond be the year of the lioness. We got to do better. Don't let these hyenas hinder you. Don't let these hyenas, and then bite them. Like I said, with your pinky up, and then clutch your pearls and keep on going. Don't even stop to see what kind of reaction they have. Don't even stop to see how they squirm and all that kind of stuff after you bite them. Bite them and keep on, put your head over there. Don't even look at it. Bite them and then turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, leave the hyena where they are. Now, let me get to these super chats. And who we got? Thank you, Too Tall. It's outstanding. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Saltese at Guyana 1 and 1 entry UFO for thy Guyana's forged about a path of destruction. In their unholy rites, they castrated his psyche, so he is but a eunuch, the statuesque of a lion, but the heart indeed hyena. Thank you and amen. Thank you, Miss Maria, for your super sticker, sweetheart. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Blue Exodus. Say I've heard hyenas try to take credit for 60% black men being in the middle class. Right. Do we want to check the ages of them men? I bet you it's a bunch of Gen Xers and older millennials. Thank you, Bakish, for your super sticker, sweetheart. Thank you, Mike Jones. At Crimson, you're about to get all my money. Those new products. These products? What? You better stop. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Beshua. Said pick-mes, get the 4 Ps. I'll take pick-me for $1,000, Alex. Exactly. Thank you, Shell Shock. So I watched last night too. The disingenuous of Love and Sis was noticeable. They were just triggered that the young women have what they desire. I picked that up too. Thank you once again. So everything was spoken through the body language, and the older women, they couldn't stand Portia because her femininity, along with T and J, was glowing. And that's one of the things that these older bitter chicks be mad at. They be mad at a young woman, baby, come in and be feminine because they just be thinking, how you gonna be young and feminine? You just gonna get all of me. And that is you had your chance, mama. You had your chance, mama. If you 45, 50, 55 years old and you ain't never been married before or nothing, girl, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get out of here, baby. Thank you, Moon. So they asked the panel at the end, have you learned anything from the discussion? The modern women said no. Like you said, they don't want to change. Of course they did. Of course they didn't go learn nothing. Thank you so much, and say your analysis is spot on as usual. They do this mess every Tuesday night. They loud, wrong, and uninformed. Girl, don't we know? Don't we know? Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you, Scorched Earth, for your super sticker. Thank you, Salty Balls. You in this name. So that testimony has been entered into canon, the smiting of the hyenas. Thank you. Thank you, Channel Things. So you need hyena Yelp sound bite before roasting. So okay, I'm gonna get some different hyena and lioness sound bites. I'm gonna get some better ones. Thank you, International Quiet Storms. So we have officially gone from Crimson University to the Church of Crimson. Hallelujah. Thank you, Stanley, for your super sticker, sweetheart. Thank you, Bernard Gohar. Said there's no powwows or panels regarding femininity in Southeast Asia. There's just fit, feminine, and friendly future wives. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Common Man. Say, young women, stay away from the hyena. A lioness cannot live in a pack of hyenas, nor can a hyena live among a pride of lionesses. Heed this warning. This is true. Thank you, Black Goku. Said 2024 is the year of the lionesses and pick-mes. Time to declare it. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Frederick. Said hyena casserole recipe. Are you listening? And thank you, Miss Siobhan, for your super sticker, sweetheart. I appreciate you so very much. We've got some, I do believe, let's check the Cash App. I think we got something here. Okay, we got the, MLR, because those are the initials. Thank you so much for your Cash App. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Even if you came through on Facebook, I appreciate you. I'm going to be streaming from Facebook as well simultaneously. So hopefully we can get you know, I want to try to build an audience there as well. I may extend that to other platforms, but for right now, we're going to do YouTube, and we're going to see if we can truly incorporate Facebook as well. Okay. So jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, is the Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.